Welcome everyone to another video from Movies and TVs on the Ball. And Steve-O here just was thinking to myself, what would be a good double feature to kind of see in a cinema? And I know these two films came out 2 years apart. Demolition Man, or 3 years. I think Demolition Man came out in '93, and The Fifth Element came out in 97, I think. But I feel like these films, they're very futuristic. In The Fifth Element, the beginning of the movie takes place in like Egypt, and it's kind of in the future of kind of a real future, and it's directed by Denis Villeneuve, who did Dune. And then you had Demolition Man, which he was cryogenically frozen and came into the future, and it was the one with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone. And I feel like two things: one, Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone were both very big in the 80s and 90s, so that kind of works in sort of the Expendables universe. And the other thing is, I feel like these films show a pretty interesting future on both sides of it. I think Demolition Man had a lot more commentary, and I think a lot of films in the 80s had commentary. But I kind of was just thinking, do you think there's a connection with Demolition Man and Fifth Element? Let me know, or am I just thinking that this would be a pretty cool double feature? I think The Fifth Element works pretty well as sort of futuristic, and I think Demolition Man, same thing, where, they had, like, I think Sandra Bullock was in this movie, and Sandra Bullock had, Rob Schneider was in this movie, and, like, I know, like, swearing gives you a fine. Anything that is bad for you is illegal. There's a lot of that. But I kind of want... But in The Fifth Element, you had more of aliens and, the flying taxi. I think Bruce Willis had a... sushi restaurant on a boat that had something. But what's your thoughts on The Fifth Element and Demolition Man? Do you think that this would be a good two-parter or double feature for midnight screening or on DVD? Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are, and as always, like and subscribe. Do you think that these were great 90s films? I want to know your thoughts on these films. And as always, see you at the movies. Bye.